And I thought it was funny. But he said, well, John Lennon said that if you give him a tuba, he would get something out of it.
Yeah.
So that's what I believe. If you gave him a flute, you can get something out of John Lennon's, because he was one of the most talented people I know.
Yeah, he was really a genius, wasn't
He
he?
was good, and he wrote music in a circular world, but he always had a message with his
In a
music.
secular world.
In a secular world, yeah. And my type of music, I have a message in my music, but I write like in a spiritual
spiritual
message.
Yes. Now, just before we get on to your music, that day that John Lennon was shot down, you had the flu, and,
Yeah.
and you were unable to work. At one point in time, you offered to give him more hours as his bodyguard.
Yeah, I wanted to travel with him when he finished up the album. I wanted to go with him, to be with him, and we became very close. And he told me, he said he didn't think he would need nobody at that time.
Yeah.
I said, well, if you ever need me, I'll be available.
Yes, sir.
I said, because it's kind of rough out there, and you need somebody out there to look out for you,
Yes.
when you're on your tours and things. He said, yeah. He said, but I'll think about it,
Yeah.
He said, I'll let you know.
And now, the day that he was shot down, you had the flu, and it was just his driver that he just dropped him off in front of his building, right?
Right.
Now, if you were there, what would you have done?
Well, if I would have been there, I would have seen that person that was standing out there, because I remember seeing this fellow once at the Hit Factory. When I did see a picture of him, I remember seeing him at the Hit Factory one day hanging around with the crowd down there. And he was just walking up and down. And
A little suspicious, huh?
looked suspicious, had on a long, something like a trench coat.
Yeah.
A green trench coat, I think it was. And but he never tried to get in the building or anything.
Yeah.
And when John would come, he never would approach John.
Uh-huh.
And that was the last time I seen him. That maybe once or twice. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that night that John was shot, he was coming from the record plant. It wasn't the Hit Factory. He was coming from the record plant.
Yeah.
And I was home with the flu, and that's when I heard over the radio that he had got shot.
Yeah. Well, you have some beautiful songs that you've written yourself, and I'd like to get you to sing for us today, if that'd be all right.
Sure, that'll be okay.
How about if we start off with "I've Got to Be There"?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to be in that number that will be lost. I want to be in heaven that day, singing to my God. I gotta be there. Saints, I want to be there. Yes, I have to be there. Oh, I want to be there when we go marching in. I want to sing with the angels that day to my Lord, my King. I have to sing all the songs that he gave me. I have to sing. I gotta be there. Just let me be there. Oh, I wanna be there. Lord, I gotta be there when they go marching in. I was in a prison cell on my way to hell, but my Savior kindly took my hand. Now I got a story to tell. I gotta be there. Saints, I wanna be there. Just let me be there. Lord, I gotta be there. When they go marching in. I gotta be there. Whoa, Lord, Lord, Lord. I gotta be there. Yes. I gotta be there. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
You really are a wonderful singer.
Thank you very much.
Now, in around 2002, you started writing songs for Israel.
Yeah.
Now, I know that Israel is a big part of your faith. You know,
yeah.
as a Christian, you belong to a church in Harlem,
Yes.
Church of Salvation, and you've been very much part of the church's mission.
Yes.
Is close to Israel. But what inspired you really to become a songwriter specifically for Israel nowadays?
Well, I was given a divine vision by a family that was killed in Israel, March 2nd, 2002. And 2 days later, as I was reading the newspaper, which is the story is there in front of you, I was reading this story, and this little girl, 7 years old, by the name of Shiraz, she stepped into my mind, and I was lifted up in a spiritual realm. And I can see her in my vision, and she was singing a song to me. Children of Israel, God is on your side. And she was pointing her fingers at me and telling me to sing it like this and sing it like that. And for a little while, I was caught up. And I can hear the angels singing a melody to me in heaven, and I just felt the presence of God all around, and I was just lifted up.
You've written many songs. Well, where were you at the time when?
I was down on, I was at Fulton Street Station, waiting for a train to go home.
And it just something popped into your mind like that?
Yeah, I was sitting right there on the platform, on one of the benches, reading a newspaper. And it was the same paper that it said that a family wiped out in Israel. 28 people were killed that day. And the next thing I knew, I was crying and tears was running down my face. And all of a sudden, I just felt lifted up. And it was like a spiritual realm. And I don't even remember being in the station, and I just hear voices coming out of like heaven.
Since that time, you've affiliated with Americans for a Safe Israel.
Yes, yes.
And you've also been very active, as well as your church, in the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, that's an organization that was founded by Rabbi Yechiel Eckstein.
That's right. That's right.
And so that's very much part of your your mission.
My mission now, my work, and you know, I've been in touch with a lot of different organizations throughout the country, and I was sending this CD around to people because when I first got this song, I couldn't believe it. And I went to my arranger and I told him, I said, the Lord blessed me with a song for the children of Israel, because for a whole year, him and I have been talking about Israel and reading the Bible and talking about how God was watching over the children of Israel and how people was mistreating them. And I told him that you know, God was not happy with that. And I say, I guess God brought it to me because I had a burden on my heart for the children of Israel and that I loved Israel. And the next thing I knew, I was reading this paper, and this little girl steps out of the paper right into my mind and gives me a song called Children of Israel, God is on your side.
Wow.
And I never had no idea of a song like that.
Well, God bless you.
And I was on the subway, and as soon as I got on the train, I don't remember even sitting down writing the rest of the song, but when I finished the song at my stop in the Bronx, the song was finished.
All right, and we can find that on CD Baby.
Yeah.